Good evening and welcome to Istanbul in Turkey. My name is Philip Saunders. This is Travel in the Know and we are at the Galata Bridge. It's around about 6:30 in the evening. Sunset will come probably in around about an hour, but you can already see the colours changing in the skyline. And the same daily routine has been going on probably hundreds of years. We've got fishermen fishing off the top of the bridge, and underneath that a layer of restaurants which over many decades have particularly catered for tourists, but giving a wonderful view over the city. And then also all of the tourist boats preparing for their evening cruises, which all start between around about 5:15 in the afternoon and 7 p.m. in the evening. So my proposal to you is, why not join me on a short Bosphorus cruise, and then let's have a quick snack on the Galata Bridge and enjoy the atmosphere. And the stretch of water that we're looking at right now is actually the Golden Horn, and you can see there's a metro bridge actually with a metro underground station right bang in the middle of the bridge, which is where I've just walked from. And then as we pan the camera around, and we'll see this later, and we look under the Galata Bridge and join the tourists looking out, that actually takes us to the Bosphorous Straits, and if you were to kind of turn left, ultimately you come to the Black Sea. And if you just walk through the bridge, this is the view on the other side. Topkapi Palace in the distance, on the top of the green hill. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you? I'm from London.
Come here, my place.
Perhaps later, I go on the boat first. Okay? Very good, thank you. It's always hectic, loud and busy down here on the waterfront. Hawkers shouting about their wares for this evening, whether it's drinks, beautiful corn on the cob, roast chestnuts, Turkish bread, or often fish being grilled along the waterfront as well, and a few little bars. But when you take one of the tour boats, it's important that you select, I think, with care. And there are certain big brands like Şehir Hatları and Turyol who you can certainly trust. Well, it's now coming up to around about 10 minutes to 7, so if I'm going to go on this journey, I need to buy a ticket now. And one of the other things to be aware of is that you have to pay in cash. So always have a few Turkish lira with you. It's actually 250 lira, which is more or less exactly £5, which seems to me pretty good value. That's my ticket. Confirmation 250 lira, departure at 7 p.m. Off we go. Thank you very much. Teşekkür ederim. Have a nice evening. And you can see the hill on the other side of the Golden Horn with the Galata Tower on the top, and that's a lovely area full of really quite upmarket shops, good restaurants, carpet shops and art boutiques. We can also now see the whole span of the Galata Bridge with all of the famous touristy fish restaurants. and you can really see how it's two layers here, and just how many fishermen are gathering on the top of the bridge. And I think we'll be copying the maneuver of our sister ship in just a moment. Doesn't seem to be anybody on that one. Also, for those with slightly larger budgets, you can take what are positioned as luxury yachts as well. And at last, we're underway. The Golden Horn really living up to its name. It's great when it works out like that, isn't it? But we're turning away from the Golden Horn now, heading towards the Bosphorus proper. A boat really passing close by us. Goodness gracious me. I'm not sure that would be allowed in the channel. Hope they've got some life jackets. And MSC have one of their large cruise ships in town. Should I feature a cruise on the channel? Let me know in the comments below. And I think we'll just round off the day with a small dinner. So I've already eaten today, but a small dinner on the Galata Bridge. As Nikki from Nikki's Nosh has commented, I try really hard to get authentic local places with great food. This is really a tourist trap. But is that fair? The views are so spectacular, there's so many people here. It's part of the experience, and sometimes you have to do that. You have to perhaps sacrifice looking for the perfect restaurant for looking and enjoying an experience. One thing I have done is taken a look on TripAdvisor, and I'm going to follow that. I mean, there are a lot of restaurants that get 4.8, whether it really means they're fantastic, we'll find out. But one has got over 8,000 people and an average score of 4.8. Over 8,000 people rather have given an average score of 4.8. And that is called the Galata Sanat restaurant. So I think that's the one we'll stop off at. It may purely be because it's in the middle of this span of the bridge and therefore gets the most visitors. But let's take a look.
Number one marinero. Number one marinero.
Number one marinero.
You can check following us from the social media.
Very good. Thank you.
Very much.
Teşekkür ederim. My first comment this evening is that you might be able to hear Turkish music in the background. That is live music, so we shouldn't have any problems from the YouTube music police. And if we do, I think there's a way around it. I'm going to review it. I have always enjoyed listening to Turkish music, and when I first came here in my early 20s, I actually bought a whole load of cassettes of Turkish pop music. So I also like this music in the background, and that, YouTube, is a review. Right, the menu is pretty extensive. Loads of salads, plenty of fish dishes, soups, starters, typical Mediterranean starters, and also a pretty good selection of meat as well, and a whole range of prices from the very reasonable to the quite expensive. I've ordered, first of all, stuffed mussels. Going to have 6 stuffed mussels, which are apparently fresh. I asked what was in them, but nobody could explain, so we'll find out. And then I've ordered some sea bass, which I'm told is very fresh, with rice, so that should be very nice. Now, I actually asked for mackerel, and what I appreciate, particularly considering they're both very similar price, is the honesty of the restaurant, because they told me straight away that the mackerel isn't fresh. So this is, I think, a win all round, a nice light meal, and really looking forward to it. And one thing I find generally in restaurants in Istanbul is that you are brought a very generous portion of bread to start with. The bread's fine, very fresh, that's for sure. And the mussels have arrived. It looks very good. And I've only waited about 3 or 4 minutes for that. Let's have a look. They certainly look great. They're something like they're stuffed with rice. Definitely in their original shells, nicely presented. And I'm going to definitely pour some lemon juice on these mussels. The lemon's important to give it some extra zing. The rice stuffing is nice. And the mussels are okay, but definitely not memorable. My sea bass has arrived. Let's say it looks beautifully grilled. Some nice rice on the side, as I asked. So let's see what this is like. Look at this.
Yeah.
What a great job that is. That is the true mark of a professional. Very impressed. Right, let's tuck in and give it a taste test now. There's still a couple of bones around. He's done a great job. So the fish is very fresh for sure. Melts in the mouth. Still very warm as well. Despite the ceremony covering up the fish, it's a lovely light fish flavour. Not too strong at all. I think it underlines the freshness. Yep, I think that really you couldn't ask for a better sea bass, to be honest. So the restaurant passes full marks on the sea bass. This is definitely a restaurant worth visiting if you are in Istanbul. It may be a tourist spot, but that fish was excellent. And on second thoughts, you know, I think the mussels were actually pretty well prepared. I would have just liked a little bit more taste in the mussel. But also, yeah, sometimes when you're in a tourist area, you do worry about aspects about how good the restaurant going to be. But you also got to think, what's the view? What's the atmosphere? And you really are at the heart of things here. I almost forgot to tell you the price. So it's 1,350 lira in total, including service, and that is around about £27, which I think is again pretty fair for everything that I had. And as well, in the normal fashion here, because I've been here regularly, well, this bridge at any rate, since 1991, they also bring you a plate of fruit at the end of the meal and offer you a liqueur, a raki in this case. It's perfectly normal. It's something that they work into all of their calculations as well, but it's an extremely pleasant gesture of hospitality. I had such a long day filming that the microphone has stopped working, batteries run out, so I hope you can hear this. Thanks so much for watching, and see you again on Travel in the Know in the very near future. Take care, goodbye.